there's these rumors swirling that Tyler Van Dyke is thinking about leaving there seem to be significant financial concerns with John Ruiz, who's the most vocal and visible NIL booster for the University of Miami. His Life Wallet company delayed their financial reports. This is what you have to do, when you're a publicly traded company, and he's got an SPAC, and it's a little bit convoluted. But essentially, the financial reports, they don't exist because there doesn't seem to be much money there. Now, that's a whole nother story. But Barry Jackson from the Miami Herald pointing out, and Michelle Kaufman wrote something as well about, it's possible that Tyler Van Dyke is looking to transfer. This could be, a result of NIL deals drying up.
Mm-hmm.
And Barry Jackson also said on Twitter, the Canes at this point are not making Van Dyke available to comment on the report of NIL frustrations and that he's considering transferring. That's not unusual for athletic programs, he tweets, but I am noting for those wondering, what does Tyler have to say about this? Barry tweets out, per Life Wallet, some of the deals from UM's formed collective are Life Wallet deals financed by Ruiz, and some are deals financed by others who have not sought publicity. So there are other NIL benefactors. Need as many as you can in a competitive environment, which obviously NIL is. John Ruiz is certainly the most visible and vocal. That doesn't mean that there aren't other NIL supporters in and around the University of Miami.
The NIL thing is, after he came out and he was like, hey, I don't know if this NIL structure works. And then now the report that he doesn't have money, that's a problem with NIL because NIL is all money. I think UM's problem is something people aren't talking about. NIL is very intriguing to people. Tyler Van Dyke wants to leave Miami. He does not want to play football here anymore. And then I believe, hearing the story, he went out and had somebody, and Drew Rosenhaus represents him, his NILs, have somebody see where he can get the most money as he transfers.
Right.
Tyler Van Dyke was balling 2 years ago. 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I looked it up. This year, one less game, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He was struggling in the offense. Miami didn't even go to a bowl game. They're 5-7, and he was talked about in the Heisman race. I think there's a football problem. Everybody's bringing the money into it.
I agree with that. So, and we're not necessarily certain that he wants to leave, but it would make sense because you're essentially always a free agent, right? In college, you're always a free agent because now you don't have to sit out.
It's 305. Dale. God bless. Dale.
Thank you, Jimmy. Wish I could see Jimmy.
He's smiling.
He's right here. Oh, there you go. He leaned in towards me. 305 on the Hochman and Crowder Show, sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Maybe he wants to leave, maybe he doesn't. But you're always a free agent in college sports now. It would make sense to me. Now, I believe this does run afoul of the transfer portal. I believe it's illegal to see what else is out there or talk to another team if you're not in the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the rules are on an agent talking with other NIL deals about where to end up. This is where it gets a little bit dicey because I would imagine a kid like Nigel Pack doesn't end up at if he doesn't know in advance of saying that he's going there. But I don't know what the actual rules are, but it would make sense to me with Tyler Van Dyke. They didn't go to a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And what if Alabama is genuinely interested? They did go to a bowl game.
Very good one.
They have great NIL benefactors.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised. And you're right. To put it all on NIL is probably silly. There's a lot more at play there for someone like Tyler Van Dyke. And if he is represented by Drew Rosenhaus, Drew could be saying, look, you're going to be going out, want to play in the NFL? Get yourself a season at Alabama.
Look at the past. Mac Jones, Tua, now Bryce Young's about to go 1 or 2. Like, look at what the past has shown you about Alabama. And I heard Leroy and Tobin talking about it earlier. where he was like, in the NBA, you can't tamper. So now you can tamper in NIL. First, the NIL just happened. You say it all the time. The market will figure itself out. Everything will figure itself out. NCAA doesn't know what the hell to do. We saw that when they came down here with with the Cavender twins, and Katie Meyer got in trouble for having dinner and all that. They are this NIL is running them ragged. But on top of that, you think that there's no tampering in the NBA?
Right.
I have a bridge to sell you right over there by my house.
We see it every year when the deadline, and all of a sudden there's deals 1 minute in.
And with the NIL thing, okay, the kid can't talk to another college. Cool. His representative, let's say, I don't know the rules, can't talk to another college. Can his mom, can his dad, can his cousin, can his high school coach, can his high school AD?
Or, in other words, if they're not talking to the college, if they're not talking to Nick Saban or his representatives, can they just talk to the John Ruiz at Alabama about NIL?
Yeah, I know Main Street in Gainesville. Main Street Chevrolet gives a lot of money to the school. I know the owner's named Ron. Can I go talk to Ron?
Right. Because
Ron has nothing to do with the university.
How could there be a rule against that?
Hey, Ron, I have a pretty good quarterback coming out of Coral Gables that would love to be a Gator.
That's where
I have money for him. Don't worry.
That's where it gets dicey.
Yeah,
to me.
You can't win this.
Now, Crowder hit it on the head. What makes more sense for Tyler Van Dyke's future right now? NIL. Maybe he can make more money in Miami. I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know with the whole John Ruiz stuff right now. Like, I haven't read about it, but long term, the guys Mac Jones went in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.